abusia minche ona mesan so emu akwa abaimre channel so ha eda so aye be media jecha abusia be so ase ene da edikan ya wani etwa channel so abusia ye be so ase be subscribe be like na wa abo so ahema for pension bi atie no anya bi atie na abusia ene update stronko aba bonten aba chese ni na efa eye Kpandai yes eye honorable sorry Matthew Yindam eye MPP eye parliamentary candidate edema eye Kpandai abusia ebeto dwa se enoma bi ekoso during eye elections no enoma bi ekoso ama court abusia atumi akole eye pay offer chese election rerun eba abekoso na chese BBC ye ema ye hoto eye election rerun nene eye dia NDC legal team ede ensem ede ababonte chese enya asem keto abusia we dia ma meka sanwa ebi asem na meka no me hunika ye pese yekọ na ya yetie eye update sonkun ya babatodwa efa eye Kpandai election rerun ne huna se bi na abusia ye won sem kanya bi abomoden na akira ya adwen ewo eye comment section ho eha eda so aye be media jechabusia be se wase ene da edikan ya wani etwa channel so abusia obetumi subscribe ede amaye boboy notification bell no so for more podcast update be media egu so edamase yes ye damase ewo ade wanwa so abusia mo aye ede amaye abusia ne mo aye ede amaye de yamene mrokoni eso ye ni papa enyemo anka be media gh anka chese be bia ya duru no anka ye du ye obo ade onhiramo oma na adom no enye kase ewo muso eha eda so aye be media gh
mobeka ya abusuan ye ba eba be breaki eye Kpandai rerun of eye election Supreme Court horte eye rerun no echese Matthew Yindam NPP eye candidate omo declare no eye victory anase omo declare se ono ena echese oye parliamentary candidate for Kpandai na abusuan ene ehonsem eba ye di kan ka kire mo se NDC lawyers no NDC legal team no ebedi nkomo bi omo ka se omo be file for review na ene last week eba be breaki ehonsem edemamo ene nso no eye NDC candidates waye bibibi ewo eye political highway ne so abusu den na koso latest update ben ena echese eye Kpandai rerun of election at Supreme Court horte ye no ehonsem ben na eboboba eno ena echese ya project ede ato ye screen no enchen ede amam no NDC Kpandai parliamentary candidates files suit at Supreme Court to challenge elections petition law ebusuya NDC omom ye ya aware say eye rerun eye Supreme Court horte anase or cancel eye rerun no omodie omono bibia che say sa Kpandai elections na ekoso no NPP for no reggae election no NPP for no electoral commission ekabom reggae election ne ditia omo NDC for no NDC legal team emye ya aware say omo be file for review and eno ena chese review no honsensem ena ekoso a eye NDC candidate or take action on NDC lawyers omo take action na omo file suit at the Supreme Court to what challenge elections petition law ebusuya we ni breaking news na ensem bi so ekoso political highway ne so ebusuya yem breaking wa mom yenko na yenkonko tie sa ensem no but elections petition ne de breaking news no eno ene da screen no enchen na yede amam no unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any update be drop no onso wonsa ebetumi akabi meramase.
Just ended by-election, and you've won, but with a very disappointing margin, isn't it?
Oh, no, in terms of the margin...
In terms of the outcome.
Yeah, the margin is...
More people to be out to vote for.
Oh, no, but that's normally by-elections in this country. I mean, we have the history of by-elections. By-elections, I mean, and also because it was a foregone conclusion. Everybody knew there was no way then this would have lost the Iowa. So it's election. It's a safe seat. And also because of the performance of this government.
Oh, really? There's an issue of performance in here?
I mean, we are delivering on our promises. We promised that we are going to have less than 60 ministers. We've delivered. We talk about the National Apprentice Program. We've delivered. We talk about the Ejumara Program. We've delivered. The no stress-free policy. We've delivered. So everything is going very well. Look at the dollar. Look at how stable the economy is. We didn't promise that we will arrest the dollar.
But if you're truly doing all of this, how come a lot of people were not out on the streets jubilating and then voting for you much more in the
Please also take note that we're in the Ramadan fasting season, and that constituency is largely by person within the Islamic faith. You understand? So I mean, and apart from, like I've just told you, by election in this country, you don't get the same numbers and all of that, the enthusiasm, because there's no presidential ballot paper to be given to you. You're just going to do the one-sided parliamentary election. But we maintain the margin of victory. The vote His Excellency Baba Jamal got, in spite of the low turnout, is significantly more than the entire vote of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Oh yes, Bawumia got about 8,000 in 2024.
Really?
Yes, I'm saying this for a fact. In spite of
Can fact check you on this?
No, please do that. Please do that. I'm putting my credibility on the line. Dr. Bawumia got about 8,000, a little over 8,000 in the general election. And in spite of the low turnout, Baba Jamal, His Excellency Baba Jamal got over 10,000. So even with the low turnout,
you're arguing that Baba Jamal is more popular than the former vice president in the constituency?
I'm saying even with the low turnout, these are facts. These are facts. So if the MPP are saying, oh, low turnout, we are just quite watching them. Even with the low turnout, look at the magnitude of performance, the margin of victory. And bear in mind that this country has a history of low turnout for by-elections. Particularly so when this is a safe seat. There was no way.
On grounds of principle, we've heard the likes of Musa Danko say that your party perhaps should have allowed Baba Jamal to contest as an independent candidate, and then you readmit him if indeed the people of the constituency accept him back, because of the claims you had made as a political party that there was significant vote buying during the by-election.
No, like you noticed, the NDC since 2015 have attempted some number of reforms. We have once introduced the biometric system of voting, where every card-bearing member within the party, within the constituency, will participate in the primary to elect the candidate. The essence of that reform was to cure some defect in the current delegate system. The current delegate system has that people support people, there's some perception of transport and all of that. Look, in the MPP just ended flag bearership race. We were told that as much as 700 Ghana cedis were given to delegates, and their delegate list album is over 200,000 delegates. So 700 times 200 will give you how much? Another candidate gave 500 cedis per delegate times 210,000.
What were your candidates doing? Some were giving as high as 3,000 Ghana cedis. In fact, some even bought motorbikes.
So I'm happy that some state citizens are at the Supreme Court. Dr. Nyahota Maklo, I'm aware of this case. They are the Supreme Court trying to seek the interpretation as when you talk about internal election, how should it be organized? It should go beyond the delegates so that each card-bearing member...
You feel genuinely that this delegate system is breeding lots of issues of corruption and vote buying, possibly?
Not necessarily, but the Ghanaian culture now. You heard the MP saying that yesterday, I didn't see, but that yesterday some people say they won't vote because they won't... They're
not giving, offered money.
So this go beyond politicians, the citizenry. We need to, the attitude, the culture, we need to look at it properly going forward. Because if we say that politicians are corrupt, politicians are not credible, then you, the voter, demands money before you vote. How different will you be from the politician? We need to look at this properly. But my view is that the NDC did very well. The Honorable Baba Jamal performed credibly well. Prior to the primaries, Baba Jamal have been supporting people in the constituency through educational support, educational fund. Could this be termed as trying to influence people ahead of a future election? Because he has been in that constituency for God knows when. He contested the last election, the last primary in 2023. He lost narrowly to the late MP. May he so rest in perfect peace. So basically, the NDC, we are trying to do reform so that the Ghanaian politics will be much more credible. If the MPP pretend as if nothing is happening, we've been in this country, Bantama primary, somebody distributed vehicles. Each delegate, one vehicle. One delegate, one vehicle. At Bantama, we've been in this country, we witnessed all of this. People were quiet and all of that. But we, just even by seeing egg and pepper, we set up a committee. People distributed vehicles.
Yes.
The MPP took no action. But we just, I think, television and some egg.
Are you? I mean,
I'm just saying that the NDC.
You have your own general secretary.
The president record
your party raising concerns about such acts. He issued a statement. The constituency party issued a statement on that. And all you're telling us now is that, well, these are meager sums of money. You shouldn't care about it. The election is over. There's no need to probe the matters again. What will be made of the committee that's set up and possibly the sanctions? I don't know if you're able to sanction anyone now that the result is out.
Rather, the argument I'm making is that the NDC is a serious party, that we do not take little things. You can imagine what the NDC would have done if vehicles were distributed. Bantama, the MPP primaries, a particular candidate gave each delegate vehicle. Every delegate will have one vehicle to win a parliamentary election in Bantama. Yet
nothing. The cast yourself.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it. Oh, you can do it. Oh, this is public knowledge. So if, for example, this television you're talking about, I didn't see it. I also saw it on social media.
But you saw the cast.
Oh yes, yeah. I saw it.
But you can't see television sets on social media.
No, I've admitted that things were distributed.
Yeah.
But the Ghanaian...
You're picking and choosing now because you want to favor your political parties.
No. We need to look at the funding of political parties largely. I've just told you that the MPP flag bearership election had monies given out under the umbrella of transport. A particular candidate gave 700 Ghana cedi to people for transport. And some people were okay.
The NDC did same in your presidential primaries.
So you are doing equalization now?
No, it's not. It's a matter of reference.
So our last presidential primaries, President Mahama...
He distributed money to your delegates.
He was even open about it. He wrote that each delegate is given 40 cedi.
50 Ghana cedis.
It's 40 cedi.
So it's not...
But it's okay.
Yeah, whatever the case. Okay.
It's okay.
So yes. 50 Ghana cedis.
For transport. Okay.
So 40 for transport,
exactly.
10 cedis for lunch, is it?
Sort of. Cumulatively 50.
50 Ghana cedis.
So reasonably, if you give a delegate 40 cedi for transport, and I can tell you, a delegate who move from Shime to Anglonga to vote spend more than 40 cedi for transport. I'm from the Anglo constituency. Right. If you want to, they take 2 vehicles from Shime to Anglonga, the voting center, to vote. You spend more than 40 cedi. As compared to a candidate giving 700 cedi for MPP delegates in Shime to Anglonga to vote. One can argue that those monies were intended to influence the delegate. But that is not why we are here.
Could it not
but the point I'm saying
that care? If your candidate also cared for NDC delegates, why wouldn't the NPP candidates care for the grassroots?
So like I said, we need to have a larger conversation.
You're both culpable of all of these things.
Exactly. So that is why we are talking. Let's have a national conversation.
You look as though the NDC is far better.
No, you have referred to our committee. And I'm telling you that it tells you that the NDC, we are looking at the interests of this country. Let's look at the national issue of funding of political parties. You know, there's a law that talks about even auditing political parties, submitting the accounts to the EC.
Which the 2 political parties rarely do, by the way.
So we need to have a larger conversation about this. Who transport voters? Let's have a conversation by partisan approach. Who transport voters in this country? The responsibility of the state, the EC, political parties, aspirants. Let's have a conversation. That's what is bringing all of this. Who gives lunch? If there's an election and I want to give lunch and I don't have money to give fried rice and I can cook egg, will that be an infringement? Let's have a conversation.
But practically speaking, as a politician, because you're not new to this business, are you telling me that we can practically, eliminate this? Even if at national level, by election, people are saying no money, no vote, how are you even going to eliminate that in your delegate system?
So that's the danger. So the NDC, probably, if we had kept to the reform in 2015 of maintaining the one party card member, one vote, probably would have improved that system. We reverted back to the delegate system because of the challenges associated with that system, where even some MPP members got our card and were voting, determining who should be our candidate.
Some MPP members.
But if you say anybody with NDC card can vote, anybody can just come already and become and have a card and now decide who becomes the NDC candidate. So quickly we reverted back to because we lost the 2016 election. Quickly we reverted, as part of the Professor Butcher's report, we reverted back to the delegate system. I'm saying that if we had accepted that challenge, worked on that challenge with that system and continued with that system, probably by now that system will have been much better. But we abandoned it, went back to the delegate system, energized the grassroots, and we are back to power. But have we solved the issue? That is what we should be looking at as a country. Have the MPP fixed their issue of distribution of vehicles, giving huge sums of money for transport under the umbrella of transport. Let's have a conversation. I don't want us to look at it NDC MPP. Let's have a conversation.
Okay. I believe that we'll do that conversation probably when we have another appropriate forum. We need to go. Okay, you're holding a book in your hand now because you're specializing in immigration law as well. Tell us about this.
So, this is the first immigration law book in Ghana.
The very first?
Yes. When we were at law school, we bought a lot of books on contract law, criminal law, but there was no book on immigration law. I've been practicing on immigration for some time now. When I was in the US, I was an attorney in New York. So this is my field. So I wrote a book on immigration law titled The Immigration Formula, Rules, Packaging and Strategy. It was forwarded by Professor Larry A. DiMatteo, former editor-in-chief of the American Law Business Journal, Lordship Justice Emmanuel Uni Kulendi, Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana.
Oh, he was part of the panel on the Kpandai case.
That's not what we are talking about. We are talking about the immigration formula. So it will launch next week, Friday, 13th of March, at the Ghana Shippers Authority. 13th of March. You might want to have a look. You might want to.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that.
The camera.
Yeah, I hope this is not both votes buying, by the way, because I'm not a delegate. The next time you're standing for election,
show it to the camera.
Obviously, I'm sure that this will not matter to the race.
Oh no, this is an immigration law book. It's for educative, academic, and it's both for lawyers and non-lawyers to navigate the complex world of immigration. You know, if you look at the topics, refugees, asylum application, grounds for visa refusal, revocation of visa. You know, Kedofodata is discussed here.
You discussed it. I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is there?
I see. It's in there.
Revocation of visa. Is there?
So you believe you'll be back?
We have 37 exhibits. 37 exhibits in this book.
Powerful. Powerful.
Yeah.
I wonder why Ofuriata is sent to you. But anyway, Council, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And of course, I'm sure that one of these days we should have a conversation on this and the technicalities revolving around that. Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
Wonder Victor Kuto, a member of the National Executive Committee of the National Democratic Congress, also both member of the VRA. Grateful to lawyer John Dako as well for joining us earlier. I am blessed to log on to myjoyonline.com.
We need ensema a course our political highway so a year NDC elections team and as a legal team omo ena ateki action ewo a Supreme Court enye asem keto akra bedamase samoje pene kokotisa ensem we ede emai aha gossip politics TV so unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any update be dropping on so onsa ebetumi aka bedamase.